Today I'm going to take you to Maldon, where there are a few really cool things I'd like to show you. This town is one of the top destinations to explore within the Victorian Goldfields region, with so much to discover and experience, and to this day, Maldon has a gorgeous 19th century appearance maintained since the Gold Rush era. There's a huge range of things to see in Maldon, but in this video, we're going to check out a couple of places which I find particularly interesting. We're going to start with one of the most impressive things in the area, the Porcupine Flat gold dredge and dragline. Gold dredges are large floating machines which use steel buckets on a rotating bucket line to excavate sands and gravels from riverbeds or shallow leads. There are only 2 of these machines left in Victoria. As far as bucket dredges go, this one is tiny. These things could get seriously huge. Victoria's only other surviving bucket dredge at El Dorado is massive compared to this one, and even that one was tiny compared to others. So we're going to climb over, which involves a sketchy scramble across this bridge to check out the gold processing equipment on board. These buckets are set on a rotating line. They cut into the ground below, scooping then lifting the material on board. They dumped it into a chute which led into a rotating trommel which screened the gravels, sending fine material to be cleaned up for gold. This dredge used a sluice to extract gold from the fine material, while the El Dorado dredge used jigs. Larger material was sent out the back to be discarded. This dredge was operated by George Haywood, who began working on the site in 1958. He reconstructed this small dredge from parts of a larger one which had operated on the Jim Crow Creek. The dredge had no means of propulsion on its own. It was moved around by this dragline, which Haywood had purchased from the Yallourn coal mine. This interesting machine last operated in the 1980s. I managed to make it back to dry land without falling in, so the next stop is the Mount Tarangawa Tunnelling Company gold mine. This mine began operations in Maldon in 1865. Now I can't tell you how pleased I was to find that all the berry bushes have been cleared from this place. Every other time I've been here, it's been loaded with prickles. There are a few of the culprits up there. They'll be back before long. The cool thing about this mine is that they were the first company in Australia to use compressed air-driven rock drilling technology. Progress drilling through the hard rock at Maldon was very slow using the hammer and tap method. A Lowe's rock drill was introduced in 1866, which was manufactured at St Peter's Ironworks in Ipswich. Despite this, the Mount Tarangawa Tunnelling Company failed to find payable gold and finished up operations in 1870. The widespread adoption of this technology in the following years revolutionised underground mining in Australia. Now we're off up Mount Tarangawa to see Maldon's iconic lookout tower. There are 2 very cool things about this tower. The first is that it was constructed using the poppet head of the Comet mine in Bendigo. The second is that the road up here was constructed so that this poppet head could be dragged up by horses in the 1920s. The view is pretty cool too. Next up, Maldon happens to be home to one of only 6 surviving state gold batteries in Victoria. From the late 19th century, assistance was provided to gold miners by the Victorian government through the installation and operation of small gold batteries. These were known as state or government batteries and were installed in areas where there were no private batteries available for public use. Only a handful of them remain for us to see today. The others are located at Creswick, Wedderburn, Mount Egerton, Bright and Rutherglen. I tried to get some video of the battery through the glass, but it's very reflective. If you look closely, you can see the mortar box here, and you can just make out the whole battery from here. Last of all, Maldon has another kind of underground tunnel. Part of the town's storm drain system, this beautiful stone tunnel runs for quite a distance beneath the town, beginning at the post office and coming out over the other side of the main street. This tunnel is particularly interesting because the stone drainage system in Maldon was famously maintained by Joseph Jenkins, the Welsh swagman, during the 1880s and 90s. His story is a very interesting one, and the book Diary of a Welsh Swagman is definitely worth a read. I've got a video of the incredible stone tunnels beneath Ballarat. You may be interested to check that out as well. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in learning more about the fascinating history of the Victorian Goldfields, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. If you'd like to support this channel, just hit the like button and share this video.